I had a friend tell me something very interesting the other day. He said the money isn't helping. The money isn't helping. I'm a dentist and my two friends are dentists. They do quite well. They do quite well financially. And one friend has a daily guarantee of $1,000 a day. And sometimes he can make $3,000, $4,000 in a day if he does really well and produces a lot of dentistry. I have another friend who is a owner of a practice, or at least a group practice. He does extremely well. He probably makes the most money out of all of my friends. And you know what these two people have in common? Do you have any idea? They said the money isn't helping. So you know what that means? They have clinical depression. They're depressed. The money doesn't help. The money isn't helping. And that, folks, right there is a huge red pill. Huge red pill. Everybody is chasing green paper, folks, especially in the United States of America. And you have these individuals that are supposed to be going into the top 1%. They're not yet. They're just establishing themselves. They're just starting out. And they're sad. They're supposed to be happy, right? Making all this money hand over fist. Being called doctor. Hey, doc. Hey, doc. Hey, can you do this, doctor? Hello, doctor. Hi, this is Dr. So-and-so. Forget about it. Forget about it. They're a wreck. They're a complete wreck. They're just like everybody else. Dentists, physicians out there are no different than the average American. They're just they may be a little bit more disciplined in some areas. They drink. Like, I know them. I know dentists. They drink and they're stressed out. There's dentists out there that are terrible with money, who make very poor financial decisions. I know them very well. And I anticipate that they may very well be broke in the future. They're not any different than you, okay? They may have sat in school a little longer, gotten jacked around in school, taken more tests than you, just paid some more time, paid some more dues than you. But they're really just normal people like anybody else. These guys are so messed up. I tell you, they can't even find their rear end with a rear end map if I were to give it to them. Okay? They're just bros. They're bros like everybody else. And for a long time, they thought the money was going to help them. They thought the money was going to make them happy. All the way through college, all the way through dental school, flat broke. Not a dime to their name. And they're like, okay, if I could just get to dental school. Well, they got to dental school. And then when they're in dental school, they were saying, if I could just get out and make some money. I remember it. I remember those conversations. I remember we had them. We sat at the good old YMCA, taking turns on the bench press, getting our sets in, waiting for the day when we could finally get paid. Waiting for the day when we could finally get that check for all of our hard work, all those years of studying. Those years of studying and sleepless nights. Oh, don't get me started on sleep. Because we also were thinking, okay, when we graduate, we'll finally get some sleep. We'll finally get a little bit of rest. We'll finally not be so stressed. Oh, what a joke. Oh, we had no idea. We had no idea. So we thought we would get out when we'd finally make that first check and everything would be good. Everything would all fall into place. You guys had another thing coming. The problem is people always want more. People always think about what... You know where I'm going? Are you going to finish it? What Next. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's the next step? What is the next thing I can buy? What's the next pair of shoes I'm going to buy? What's the next car I'm going to buy? When am I going to get my first house? And then after that, it's like, when am I going to get a vacation house? It will never end. And then you're going to have your friends competing with each other. For all the nice things they have, you're going to want something a little bit nicer, and a little bit nicer, and a little bit nicer. That's the reality. That's the reality. That's the tough reality to swallow down your throat. Is that the money isn't going to help you. And so the truth is, you really need to enjoy where you're at right now. You need to spend time with the loved ones that you have and the time that you have with them. You need to enjoy those times. Make the most of those times. And spend time investing into your relationships. Because ultimately the money will come and then the money will go. But it's not going to make you happy. It's just not. People say that after a certain amount of income, it doesn't really change your happiness. And I've heard that it's around $70,000, maybe $80,000. Heck, let's just say $100,000, which is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. That's a good living. Focus on what matters. That's what I'm going to say to my friends right now, because they're both going to be watching. Focus on what matters. Don't think about the money so much. And I want to talk because I've always thought about the money and making money to whatever. But try to enjoy where you're at, what you're doing now, the growth that you're experiencing now, and live in the moment. I'm talking to myself as much as I am talking to them. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. This is a little bit of an unorthodox video. I just turned on the camera and started spouting out stuff. I didn't even do my intro today, and I won't even do my outro. And I hope this video spoke to you, because that money, you keep chasing. You keep chasing that money. You keep getting up and going to work to get that money. And then you come home and you worry about spending the money and how to save the money. And that money is going to keep coming and keep going. And there's not a thing that you can do about it. Because it's always going to be what's next. And the money just isn't helping.